I am Justine Evans. I'm one of the instructional designers at the Online team, and I'm joined today by several of my cohorts and our videographer who is recording this session. It's very nice to meet you. So let me share my screen. And I will be toggling between two browsers today, so if that gets confusing, please just let me know, and I'll walk you back through as I go through these two different roles that I'll be experimenting with. Today we're kind of learning the system as we go as well. So we're here to display what we've learned so far, but you may see me backtrack for a second as I go back through my notes, because I am still kind of categorizing how best to approach Canvas and teaching others how to use Canvas. But if you ever have any questions, you can always email us as a group at the Online IDs at MSO email, or visit us at umt.edu/umonline. I will not be going into presentation mode for these slides because it is affecting my navigation, so bear with me. Today we're going to look at kind of Canvas as a whole and entering it for the first or second time, and how to customize the dashboard to your viewing preferences. This is not a course building workshop. This is a course navigation workshop. So basically what that means is we're getting you prepared to enter the course building stage. So we're just adding tools to your toolbox so that you're not kind of floundering, trying to figure out the basics of how to utilize these tools in Canvas while you're actually in the trenches of building a course. So the first thing I want to ask is, I believe everybody has a Canvas login. If you do not have a Canvas login just yet, please put it in the chat. There is access to a free Canvas account, which could give you the opportunity to start kind of exploring the tools in Canvas, even though it's not in University of Montana's actual Canvas account. Once you're in there, everything is addressed with SSO right now, so you should be able to log in with your NetID. I am logging in as an outside account, so I'll be logging in with the non-net ID. However, your net ID should get you in there and will provide you access to the dashboard to Canvas. Once logged in, you're taken directly to the Canvas dashboard. This should look familiar to you if you've taken any of the Essentials courses. I will briefly show you what is different between Canvas and Moodle. First of all, when you're taken into the Moodle courses, you're actually taking into more of a news feed that we utilize, and this has permanent, semi-permanent, and time-dependent offerings. This is no longer available in Canvas. The closest that you will get to what Moodle used to offer is your dashboard on Moodle. So these views should feel pretty similar. You have access to favorited courses, access to a feed of your courses, recent activity, and a calendar. Those are all things that can be provided to you in the Canvas dashboard. So if you're wanting something that is a very mirrored view, go to your Moodle dashboard. The other key differences being that we had quarterly news, we had some semi-permanent resources down here at the bottom, and then in the right sidebar, we had our more permanent links to resources that exist outside of Moodle. Again, a lot of that will be gone, so we won't have a permanent news feed, but we will have access to all of those permanent links via the global navigation, which I'll go over today. So a lot of it still exists, it's just in different places. So just keep that in mind. So real briefly, I'd like to go over the three main areas of the dashboard. So logging in is the first step, and then you're brought exactly to this first page. The three areas are the global navigation, the content area, which is this large center column, and then the recent activities. When you log in, you're going to see things that are different. That is because this is a personalized experience, and it's also dependent on what you're enrolled in and at what role. So if you're a student, things will look a little bit different. If you're a teacher, things will look a little bit different. And of course, you could be both. You could be taking a class, even though you are already an instructor. So the view might be a little unique to your own personal situations. The global navigation is accessible during your stay in Canvas. So that means that it is a permanent resource that is totally independent of any activity you're doing in Canvas. So it remains the entire time that you are residing within this interface. You can collapse or expand your global navigation by using the toggles. So if you're looking for a wider center column to do work with, go ahead and collapse your global navigation. Or if you'd like to expand it, it'll actually give you more contextual resources. So it'll actually give you like the link name. Real briefly, I will go through these resources. Some of these things communicate with each other. So I will mention something that is available on the global nav that will affect your dashboard center column. So I may jump back and forth a little bit. It's really kind of hard to isolate a lot of these tools so that they're working independently. So just as a quick reminder, it's in constant view, your global navigation. That's this maroon sidebar. And some of the things that will be important to you, starting from the top, is your account information. So this is where you can access and customize a lot of your experience in Canvas, and I'll come back to this. At this time, changing your settings, they went over this in Canvas Essentials, the course that was the 90-minute course. But right now, really the only setting you can change in your personal profile is your image. So if you go into your account settings and view some of your information, if you click the little image up at the very top, this kind for Tony is a default character. If you click that little pencil or the icon in general, it will bring you up to a file picker, and you can either take a picture or upload a picture of your own. This is something we highly recommend. This is the personalization stage of communicating with your students. And you're bound to get a much better result if they actually have a physical representation of you, or excuse me, I guess a digital representation of you that they can access as they utilize such things as announcements, as email, as any of the page history. That image will pop up for them. And I'll be returning to a couple of these other ones. The next link is the dashboard. And if you click this dashboard link, it will take you back to the center page. So this is the same as clicking home, which is also the same as clicking the University of Montana logo at the very top. So these are all ways to navigate to the opening page of Canvas. Courses is a bigger one. This will open your course tray, and you will see a variety of options to navigate with here. Number one is the published courses. These are probably your high priority courses. These are the ones that are active or that you're taking, that you're administering. And then unpublished courses could be a variety of things. They could be courses that were physically unpublished. They could be upcoming courses that have yet to be published. They're also available to you to work in. So that's the two major delineations. And of course, clicking on any of these will take you directly into that course. Again, I'm going to navigate back. I can do that by clicking the dashboard, by clicking the logo, or by opening the courses tray again and clicking to a different course. At this stage, I'll just click the dashboard. Second to the courses tray that's also kind of important is your all courses link. This will provide you access to every possible course. So it's completely expanded. So this is your access to any course that you have the token to, so that you have availability to. And a really important feature here is you can check your enrollment if you're, if you're in a course in a different capacity. You have active links to your courses, so you can click any of these and be taken to the course. Or in particular, you can favorite courses. And what favoriting will do is it will filter out all courses that are not favorited. So I will show you what that looks like. So I'm going to favorite my current course that I am using as the demo for this, as well as Canvas Essentials. And if I go back to my dashboard, you'll notice that only those two courses are now available for me. This is a highlighting feature. So if you really just want to focus on like the few courses that you're really indebted into working in, and you don't want to deal with that really long, very complex view, you can go in and favorite courses. It is very easy to unfavorite them if you would like to turn that filter off and have access to everything again. You simply go into your courses tray, all courses, and simply uncheck those stars and navigate out. The calendar, they will go over more of the calendar when we get to the communications webinar, but all you need to know right now is that this is a global calendar, so it will reference content from any course that you are participating in. You can filter it depending on, other courses that you may or may not want in view, if you want to highlight or focus on a course. but it will showcase everything that is in those feeds that are running from your courses. So anything that has an assignment due date will appear in here. Any personal notes that have a due date on them will also appear in these calendars. So each course is provided its own calendar, but through the calendar view of the global navigation, you can see all of those items encompassed into one calendar. Before I go into our inbox, I want to talk very, very briefly on the notification system on Canvas. And the reason I'm going to do this is because I'm afraid that this notification will disappear if I click into the inbox prematurely. So there are 4 areas of the Canvas dashboard that will highlight your attention, that will point you into the places that need your attention. Number 1 is inside the global navigation. And the inbox, which is the Canvas communication systems, Canvas conversations is what they call them. This is the onboard email system to Canvas. If you have an unread message, it will pop up in the notifications bubble. Another place you might see a notifications bubble is on the help tab. If you have set at the very bottom, show badges on release notes, if you have that set, if there is an unread release note that you have not read yet, you'll also see another pop-up right here that will say, you know, the amount of Canvas release notes that are generated by Canvas. We do not write these, that are generated by Canvas that you have not addressed or not read. Another area that you'll see them is in what's called the global navigation system, or excuse me, the global notification system. This is written by us. So this is written by the admins from UN Online. These are time-dependent notifications, so it's a little bit like news. However, they're short form. So it'll be things like a reminder of an upcoming training, or a reminder that the semester will begin in a week, small things like this. Now, these messages are dismissible, so you have to actually see, you know, who wrote these. So for example, this one is from Canvas, and it's reminding you to take a 2-minute survey. If I don't need to see this anymore on my dashboard, I can close it. And then it'll give me a notification that you close this global announcement. It will no longer be available to you when you log into Canvas again. However, if you'd like to see a history of dismissed global announcements, you can do it through the account tab and the global announcements link. So these will have any of the past notifications that we post to you. The last place that you'll see a lot of notification bubbles is on the course cards themselves, and I will go through this. So basically what this is saying right now, that is in this course, there is an announcement that you have not read. So it's letting you know that there is something in that course that needs addressing. The other major area I want to talk about right now. So clicking into the inbox will take you to your conversations. So you see here that I have an unread conversation. They will talk more about this in the communications webinar. Your history tab will give you up to a week's worth of 3 weeks worth, excuse me, history that you've accessed in Canvas, and it is delineated by the icons next to the links. So this is letting me know that I went into Canvas Essentials and I reviewed the gradebook. I reviewed this page. I reviewed the people. So it's just a history of where you have clicked. This is totally independent of other people. This is exclusively your history. So this is no student history. They do not see your history. This is exclusive to you. Commons is not available right now, but it is a sharing site that will allow people to share content across the Online system. And then, of course, your help tray, which is going to be very, very important. This is a customizable by role tray. So the links that you'll see here are probably going to be unique to the teacher role or to the IT admin role. And some of the major ones that you'll want to keep in mind are access to the Canvas guides, which are the most in-depth offering of training materials possible. So if you ever have a question, you can go to the Canvas guides. Or another really, really good one will be the faculty Canvas support if you have a heavy-duty technical question and need access quickly. So just keep in mind that these are going to be available to you no matter where you are in Canvas. Moving right along, I want to talk briefly about the dashboard and the dashboard view. So you'll see actually that global announcement is gone. Your dashboard view is also extremely customizable, but I want to have a warning here that just to remind you that anything you do in the dashboard view is unique to your view. So you may think that you're changing student view or student information. You are not. This is going to be exclusive to the way that you access and look at Canvas. The first thing to do here is actually make sure that you have set the view that you want regarding your courses and course activity. And you can do that with the 3-dot menu at the dashboard level. There are 3 options for view. And this fourth one, the color overlay, is actually the easiest to talk about first. And the color overlay simply provides kind of a eye tracking method to keeping your courses organized, and it just kind of lays over a color, and it's a unique color for each course. But it can get kind of muddled, so I actually like to turn this off, and you do it simply by clicking the 3-dot menu and unselecting color overlay. The first view I want to look at actually is the recent activity view. So this removes those course cards, and this will just display the things that need addressing in your course. So right now it's displaying the courses that need an announcement read, a conversation I need to reply to, a couple of assignment notifications, some discussions that need to be graded. In this view, you still have access to your to-do and coming up, which I will conclude with. This view is really, really good if you have a lot of things that need addressing and need addressing quickly. And all you have to do is go to the dashboard and change your view. The list view is very helpful because you can actually create personal messages to yourself for your own to-dos. So you'll see a little plus bar up here, and this will allow me to, write a quick note to myself, another webinar, and then the next webinar is going to be available, at 3 p.m. If I can get to it. You can add notes for yourself, and now you have a to-do list that'll kind of be organized by your calendar. So the to-do list is pretty nice. And this view, the list view, it'll also, you have access to the things, that might need addressing versus grading, and some other notifications that you may have missed. But if you're looking for something kind of more similar to Moodle, we stay in the card view. So again, very, very similar to the dashboard we carry in Moodle with these course cards. And the course cards are organized into published and unpublished courses. So again, your published courses are the active courses. If you have student enrollment, these are the courses that are receiving students at the time. Unpublished courses are only visible to you as the instructor, and they are kept at the bottom of the page. Right now, this instructor has access to 3 published courses and 3 unpublished courses. We're just going to focus on the published courses right now. Each course card allows for a little bit of customization. The easiest one is to select the course card color. And there's a couple of options that are already available to you, or if you're kind of comfortable with hex color codes and want to do a specific color for your course card, you just simply paste it here. I will keep with the blue, or actually I'll change it so you can see what happens. So you'll notice that a few features change to match that color. This is just useful for filtering and visual organization. You can also give some things a nickname for the course. So if you have a really, really long course name, and right now it's probably going to be your course title, your course number, the short form name for the course, all of that is meta information that you cannot edit. However, you can give short names to your courses for yourself, so that's a little bit easier to find and understand. And all you need to do is add that nickname here, and you'll see that it updates. And actually, if you look over here, I have a to-do that's in the webinar demo. If I refresh, my to-do now also references that nickname. So I'm just simply going to delete it because I would rather have the course actual name. Once you're comfortable kind of delineating the course content and the course name and the course color, you can actually reorganize by dragging and dropping your course cards. Again, this is unique to you. This is not what the students see. Students do not see the course overlay color. They do not see any short names you give the course. This is exclusive to you. But you can absolutely move items by dragging and dropping them, or using the 3-dot menu and the move feature if your drag and drop is a little lackluster right now. You can also do the same to unpublished courses. They just simply will remain unpublished. Displayed on a course card are up to 4 icons. This is referenced inside the course itself, whether or not you have these available to students. And those items would be announcements, assignments, discussions, and course files. So this course, for example, only has announcements and assignments available to students to view. So that's why they are only the 2 of the 4 available on the course card. What is nice about this feature is it provides you, again, notifications for things that need addressing. And it also provides a link directly to that feature of Moodle. So you'll see, or excuse me, Canvas. So you'll see this course does not have discussions enabled for students, and that is why it is not available on the course card. And it's only those 4 items. So if you make other things available like pages, it will not appear on this course card. The last area I want to talk about today before we conclude is your upcoming and your recent activity. And so the to-do list is generated by the courses. This is an automatic generated feed. It will display on the course card layout, so this layout, and the recent activity layout, but it does not display in list view because list view is its own kind of recent activity. It will provide you links to address these items. So this one is saying right here that I have to grade in a submission in the course demo. Let me refresh this because I took that name out. And if I were to click that, it would take me directly to a grade book to address that. Additionally, there's a coming up section. This is referenced from the calendar and will pull up to the next 7 days worth of upcoming material. Students also have access to a coming up. So you can actually click these directly to be taken to them, or of course you can view the calendar. Anything done in the course that changes the calendar, or anything done in the calendar that changes the course, they communicate between each other. So this is an onboard interface feature. And then the last thing that you'll likely see is a view grades button. This will give you access to all of the courses that you're teaching, and it will provide you links to some features of that course. So view grades, that button, excuse me, I'm so sorry. This button down here at the bottom, any of these links will not take you to the course directly. They will take you to the grade books of that course. So if I click here, it's going to drop me into this course, UM Campus Essentials, directly into the grade book, because this is a grade book navigation feature. So that if you want to view the grade book as a whole, you can click this, or you also have access to your student interactions report, which will kind of give you an overview of the student activity within the course proper. So kind of nice once you actually have a lot of students participating, and we'll give you kind of an overview of, how, the student base at large is doing in the course. So that was a lot of information very quickly. Real briefly, I just want to reiterate a few points, that the help menu and the global navigation is always available. So even if I'm inside a course, you will notice that this does not change. So I can ask a question directly within the course while I'm doing my course building development. If you are ever getting lost and you don't know where you are within a course, or you're not sure where navigating totally, again, use your global navigation to take you back to the dashboard, or to click the course itself, so it'll take you to that course homepage. And just a quick note is that customizing your dashboard is a completely unique experience to you. So don't expect your students to also be utilizing the same features that you are, unless you communicate some options to them. So if you want them to change the course card to orange, you will have to tell them in an email. This is not something that will translate to them. Okay. So there's just a few minutes left. I would like to take questions if there are any. Otherwise, I'll be sending a follow-up email, and I have a short tip sheet to go over. And so, any questions? Well, then, thank you so much, everybody that joined us. I will have this recording available to everybody, and I will send out links to the roster as soon as we figure out where we're going to post them. So. Thank you so much. I'll be having another webinar today at 3 o'clock on setting your course settings and course navigation, tips for course navigation. So if you're coming to that, I look forward to it.